Okay, let's dive into the tools you will need for this class. Now, like I say every time, I'm going to go through the tools we're going to need. If you've watched all 9 parts of my music theory class, then just skip through this one because I'm not going to say anything new. But just in case this is the first class that you're joining us for, I want to go over the tools that I'm going to use. So, real quick, 2 main things that you need. One is a notation program. And you don't need this necessarily, but I highly recommend it. What you're seeing on the screen here is a program that I'll be using throughout the class. It's called MuseScore. This is a free program. You can get it at musescore.org. It's a notation program, and what that lets us do is we can put in notes. Like I can enter some notes and play them back. And it's neat, right? So that is handy for hearing what we're working on. You can use any program you want. This is MuseScore. This isn't a class on how to use MuseScore, so I'm not going to be going over the finer points of using it. I'm just going to be using it for my examples. I recommend it so that you can hear what you're doing a little bit better. You can also use one of the other ones, like Finale is another one, Sibelius is another one. There's a new one on the market called Dorico. That's looking pretty promising. There's also ones like Notion, I think, is a iPad specific one, I believe. And that's looking pretty good. Anything that just lets you put in notes and play them back. That's all. So get a program that can do that. This one's free, so I like using it. The other thing I want you to have handy is some staff paper. Staff paper is just normal paper with staff lines on it. So the 5-line staff. Print out a couple copies of this, or you can go on Amazon or whatever and buy some nice staff paper. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just print out some. I'm going to give you a sheet of staff paper in the next segment. I'll give you a PDF to download. Print off 5 or 6 copies of that, just so that you have some staff paper next to your desk or phone or whatever while you're watching these. It'll be handy for just jotting things down as we talk about them. So have some staff paper and a good pencil handy for taking notes. That's all. So a notation program and some staff paper. So in the next segment, I'm going to give you some staff paper, just one sheet of blank staff paper. It's just going to look like a plain white piece of paper with a bunch of groups of lines on it. Print that off, get yourself a couple copies of it, and then you'll be all set to go. Okay, so that's coming up in the next segment. After that, we're going to talk about some review stuff.